Hey, welcome everybody to Ignite 2020. As I was preparing for this session, I ran into a story that talked about one of the most important discoveries of the 20th century, and it just resonated with me. In the late 1930s, a small group of astrophysicists at Caltech were studying ways to measure mass and circumference of neutron stars that were 10 billion times larger than our sun. With general relativity as a starting point, and building on the work of the Indian astrophysicist Subramanian Chandrasekhar, they wanted to find out what happened after the implosion that followed the burnout of a supermassive star. To do this, two of the researchers had to use applied mathematics that were still so new and theoretical that they actually straddled reality. And what they saw in the data was pretty shocking. Now keep in mind that they weren't seeing anything. There wasn't some awesome 3D rendering that they could consult. It was just two people standing in front of a chalkboard, doing the math by hand, chain smoking, while they stared at these figures. It was like the steampunk version of looking at the Matrix. What they found was the impossible. It was actually incomprehensible. Their calculations indicated that for anyone or anything that was on the surface of an imploding star, that the passage of time began to accelerate. And for someone observing it from the outside, time stopped. This was something that no one, not even Einstein, had predicted. What they had just seen play out was a singularity, or as we know it today, a black hole. When this research was finally published, their peers ignored it. In the words of one historian in 1939, it was just simply too complex and too strange to be believed. But the tools they used and the things they learned stood the test of time. Now, as an engineer, it's astonishing to consider the talent required to make a discovery about a fundamental element of the cosmic ecosystem. As someone who builds tools for Microsoft 365, I think about how fortunate these researchers were to have the advanced mathematical models available at the time that they used as they were pursuing this breakthrough. And I think what really draws me to this story is what we're doing right now with the cloud, with the AI, the automation, and all the insights that we get from it. And I'm excited by the tools we have in the market right now that are so radically advanced beyond what was available even 2 years ago. Today, I'm going to show you the work that we've been doing to give you and IT more power than ever and to give your end users the best work experience that they have ever had. One of the questions I get almost daily is, what have we learned from the pandemic? Well, first of all, you have to enable users to work from everywhere. That's the new normal. Second, your user experience and delivering that great user experience is the most important thing you need to focus on. And third, you have to have a zero trust model in place because your users are literally working from everywhere. And so when I say, moving parts of the edge to the cloud, as you modernize, you move things like the management, security, and identity control planes up into the cloud. You start to use a modern browser like the modern edge. And as you move those portions of the edge up into the cloud, you have capabilities that you've never had in the past that allow you to deliver that wonderful experience to your users that is secure and empowering at actually a lower cost. Now, there's some research that just came back that I found fascinating. This is research that was done by the ESG group. They went out and interviewed 800 customers, and they classified these 800 customers as either average users of Microsoft 365, below average, or above average. Look at the findings. Users or organizations that moved from below average to above average had 210% higher user satisfaction with their remote work experience. They were 81% more likely to say the technology experience increases their retention. It's all about keeping your people. 76% more likely to say that Microsoft 365 helps them delight their customers. 91% of organizations actually lowered their device management costs after using Microsoft Intune. They actually were able to reduce the device management time by 18% on average. And they saw a full 13% increase in employee productivity. How much is 13%? Of 52 weeks? It's a lot. And so one of the things that I would encourage you to think about is, how fast can you move to be that above average organization? Now, in the same research, they asked a question: which organization has had the greatest impact on helping you respond and empower your users in this pandemic? And I'll build this list out, and you can see, those who were mentioned a couple of times, those who were mentioned 10 times, 25 times. But Microsoft is the organization that was mentioned by far more than any other organization as helping customers move through the pandemic in a way that was empowering to users and still met all the needs that the company had. Now, I talked about modernization. I just wanted to give you a view of how fast it's accelerating. A year ago, so on September 1st, 2019, About 5% of all of the Windows 10 devices that were being managed by Microsoft Endpoint Manager were cloud attached or cloud connected. That is now at 19%. So take a look at that. Another fascinating data point here is in that time from that 1 year, we actually doubled the number of Windows 10 devices that were under management and almost grew by 4x those that were cloud attached. So now project this forward a year from right now, we're going to be around 35%. 2 years from now, we're going to be at 50%. The key thing for you to internalize is if you are not moving to the cloud and attaching Intune to Config Manager so you're using all of Microsoft Endpoint Manager, you are now falling behind. Wherever you are in your journey to cloud management, whether you're still thinking about the move to Intune, you've started with co-management, or you're completely in the cloud, Microsoft Endpoint Manager has truly become your hub to unify security, applications, access compliance, and end user experience across your entire estate. At its core, Microsoft Endpoint Manager is the leading provider of unified endpoint management across physical and virtual endpoints, including Windows, Apple operating system, Android, and now virtual endpoints, including Windows Virtual Desktop. It includes provisioning and deployment tools, including Zero Touch, and mobile application management to ensure your apps and data remain secure and up to date. And because it can leverage Microsoft's powerful and unique data sets, those trillions of pieces of data that come into us every day, it's intelligent, it delivers analytics and cloud-powered insights that help you stay ahead of change so you can keep your costs down and keep your organization running smoothly, whatever the future brings. And Microsoft Endpoint Manager connects you to all the important aspects of your IT estate with native integration with Microsoft 365, Microsoft's advanced security, compliance, and identity solutions, connection to the best browser for business, Edge, as well as solutions designed for hybrid working environments like Microsoft Teams rooms. And to ensure that your technology investments are empowering great employee experiences, Endpoint Analytics connects insights to productivity score to action in Microsoft Endpoint Manager to ensure everyone can do their best work with Microsoft 365. And of course, it connects to a huge partner ecosystem which extends Microsoft Endpoint Manager's capabilities to provide specialized solutions. Now, you might be looking at this list and you might be surprised with some of the names. The reality is Microsoft Endpoint Manager has just become this hub that all endpoint management has really been integrated on. And Microsoft Endpoint Manager is also one of the core hubs that brings all of Microsoft 365 together. So collectively, what we do at Microsoft and through this rich partner ecosystem really gives you the best solution to empower your users across all their devices. So as we build out the demos, we put them into 4 categories. First, the things that we're doing to enable you to empower your users to work from everywhere. Second, the things that we're doing to help you improve the end user experience. Third, how we're bringing management and security together. And then fourth, the things that we're doing to empower the ecosystem and accelerate. So now let's start with the things that we're doing that empower your users to work from everywhere. And let's start with modern provisioning when your users are literally working from everywhere. We are now enabling you to provision devices anywhere and actually do it from anywhere. Most of you have 20 years of investment in your Config Manager deployments. And in that, you have millions of dollars in your application library that you've created. We want to make sure you can carry that investment forward as you modernize. What we're announcing today is Autopilot can now enable co-management so it deploys the Config Manager agent during the Autopilot process. It's all integrated into Microsoft Endpoint Manager. This means you no longer have to use imaging, but you can actually use the modern auto provisioning process and fully take advantage of co-management and fully utilize that Windows application library that you have in Config Manager. This is a game changer for when your users are working from everywhere. Let's next talk about the innovations that we're doing to help you get attached to the cloud quickly. Tenant Attach is quick and it's an easy way for you to see immediate value, and it's your first step on your journey to being cloud connected. Here you're looking at a list of all the devices in the Microsoft Endpoint Manager console that can be managed. And I want you to notice there's Config Manager only devices, Intune only, co-managed. There's devices here that are managed by Jamf. This is that example of Microsoft Endpoint Manager becoming that hub. Now, I also want to touch on here, last year we demoed the warranty and service information that Dell was proposing to put into this experience. I'm pleased to announce that Dell is going to be GAing that capability here in the next few months, and they're going to take it further by taking information like the trusted Dell safe BIOS and other information, other security attributes, and bring that into this experience as well. The first thing that all of you should do as soon as you finish watching this session is go enable Tenant Attach. It's a low-cost, high-value action that you can take immediately. Now let's talk about giving your users who are working from everywhere that simple and secure access to the apps and data behind your firewall. Here I have an Android device, my favorite Android device, my Surface Duo here. And you can see here there's been a number of apps that have already been installed on this. I'm just gonna go tap on Microsoft Tunnel here. And in this case, I have it configured so that it's always on. I can see that it's active and it's connected. When I launch the Tunnel app, I can see some of the details about usage, configuration, and the apps that are configured to use Tunnel. And this is an important detail. Only the apps that are configured or assigned to use Tunnel will send data through the gateway. This ensures that personal traffic on your user's devices is kept separate and private. I'm going to go ahead and launch Edge here, which is the best browser for business. And I get this great single sign-on experience, and I'm instantly using the apps and the data behind the firewall. And of course, this is all integrated with our conditional access solution, so you have that zero trust solution that you needed to get deployed. And I think this really shows off the benefits of using the integrated solution from Microsoft 365. Now, this is the one MDM feature I know many of you have been waiting on to simplify your deployments. This is in live preview today. You've got to go check it out. Many of you would like to enable your users to work on their personal PCs and Macs, but you don't want to take over and manage those personal devices. Today we're announcing something I think is pretty cool. It's an integrated set of Microsoft Endpoint Manager capabilities into our Edge browser. Remember, Edge is the best browser for business. This new capability will enable you to deliver web apps to your users and will give you the control that you need to ensure things like your corporate data never leaves the Edge browser. Now here is how you configure things like the default home page, manage favorites, and IE mode. It's all integrated into Microsoft Endpoint Manager. In the same console here, you can also enable data loss prevention capabilities such as disable and copy and paste out of the browser. Now I'm sitting here looking on my personal PC, and let's show you how it works. I'm going to bring up Edge here with my personal profile authenticated. And when I try to go to Office 365, you'll notice here the conditional access blocks my access. Now I'm going to bring up Edge again, this time with my corporate or my work profile loaded, and attempt to access email. Now notice here I get this great single sign-on experience, and I'm working and using email within seconds. Now check this out. I wanted to show you how deeply we've integrated identity into the experience. And you'll recognize that this aligns with what we've done on iOS and Android. I'm going to go and copy some confidential information here in my work profile, and I'm now going to try to go paste it into my personal profile, and you'll notice that it's blocked. I think this is revolutionary for you. You can now use the Edge browser across all your users' devices and enable your users to access your organization's confidential and sensitive data from their personal devices, at the same time ensuring that your data is safe and secure. Just to give you a quick view here of why we say Edge is the best browser for business. You have greater privacy than Chrome. You have improved search internal. So when I search for internal sites, it all comes up for me. We call that Bing for Business. All of our manageability and security for EMS is built in. It's much more efficient use of your memory. And finally, just our commitment to compatibility here, we're going to ensure that any app that works in IE or in Chrome works in the modern Edge. It is the best browser. And what I would recommend that you do today is go set your preferred or recommended browser to now be the modern Edge. Now the final announcement in the work from everywhere category is that we've deeply integrated Windows Virtual Desktop into Microsoft Endpoint Manager. We've seen exponential growth of Windows Virtual Desktop since its release last fall, and now you can seamlessly manage the end user experience using Microsoft Endpoint Manager, all your physical and virtual instances from one place. Here you can see a list of all of your devices that are under management. I want you to notice on the far right how the WVD devices show up. You can see that it says virtual machine. You have 100% reuse of your existing policies. It's all in the same console. In April, I spoke about how we were going to integrate management of virtual and physical management into one place. This is the first big step down that path for you. This is the only place that you can manage Microsoft Endpoint Manager and Windows Virtual Desktop together. Now let's transition to the announcement that we're making in improving the end user experience. And let's start with the provisioning of apps. Now I have to admit that we've been anything but simple here. Software Center, Company Portal, My Apps. We have not delivered to you a single experience to deploy all of your apps that come through Microsoft 365 until today. Company Portal is now the place your users go to deploy all their apps, from Config Manager, from Intune, from Azure Active Directory, from Windows Virtual Desktop. Here I'm deploying an Intune delivered application. Next, I'm going to go deploy an application from Azure Active Directory, in this case, Power BI. Notice how great that single sign-on experience was. Now I'm going to go deploy an application from Config Manager. Now this is just massive simplification from what we've delivered to you in the past. When your users need to go and deploy an application, where do they go going forward? Company portal, period. Now perhaps my favorite new capability coming out is the productivity score. Today we are announcing that productivity score will be generally available on October 29th. We're also announcing that the portion of productivity score that my team builds, Endpoint Analytics, is generally available today. Let's dive into Endpoint Analytics. This is where we give you a view of the experience that you're delivering to your end users on their devices. I can see here that my Endpoint Analytics score is 58, which is below the industry benchmark of 66. I can go drill into the details here where it says learn more, and I would get specific instructions on how to make the experience better. I'm going to go a little deeper here. I'm going to go dig into what we call PC startup performance, and I can see here that the startup experience my users are seeing is well below the industry average. If I were to go click on learn more here, the link right above, I would be giving specific and detailed recommendations on what I should do to make the experience better. This needs to become one of the best tools that you use in understanding the experience you're giving your users and making improvements, and this is all generally available today. Now, I want to show you something that's coming out very soon that is a very unique capability of Microsoft Endpoint Manager. You know when you get a blue screen on Windows, it asks if you want to send the details to Microsoft? Well, this all comes back to something that we call Dr. Watson. Dr. Watson collects all the crashes from around the globe, and it actually auto-assigns each unique crash to the engineer that owns that code. What we have done is we've now wired together Dr. Watson and Microsoft Endpoint Manager. We are now able to show you your unique data here in what we call application health. Now check this out. This is a list of all of the applications in your PC estate, and we give you a view of how healthy your apps are. You can see things here like what is the mean time between app failures, and it just helps you to get a view of the quality of your apps. Now I'm going to dig a little bit more into the apps, and you can actually see the difference in quality between application versions. Look at how much better the app got with newer versions. You can also go ahead and pivot on, get a view of app health on different updates of Windows. And this gives you a view of the quality of the user experience and how it's affected by both application updates and Windows updates. What you're looking at here is the one button that you have to go press to enable Endpoint Analytics. You know, today we have over 3.5 million endpoints from 10,000 unique customers already enrolled in the Endpoint Analytics preview. It's one button, it's simple, go do it today. Next, I want to talk about how we can help you proactively resolve customer issues before your users see them. And this is all about increasing the end user satisfaction and decreasing your help desk calls. A part of Endpoint Analytics is what we call proactive remediations, which also is GA today. This is an actual remediation script that we applied internally at Microsoft. When we were all sent home, the use of our VPN increased by 150%. There was a common issue that we saw across the VPN that was generating help desk calls. We created this script, we applied it across the 300,000 plus PCs that we manage internally, and it proactively addressed the issue, driving up end user satisfaction and driving down the help desk calls. This is all about improving your end user experience and decreasing your costs, which is more important than ever when your users are literally working from everywhere. Now, one of the things I want to make sure you understand is the ecosystem is aligning on this, and I'm pleased to announce that HP today is releasing a set of scripts that can be imported that address some of the common issues that customers see with HP hardware. It's exciting to see what proactive remediations can do. We've seen it at Microsoft, we've seen it at other accounts. It drives up end user satisfaction and drives down your costs. For a couple of years now, I've been recommending that you really take the time and clean up your group policy settings. Now, many of you rely on group policy settings for security and compliance reasons. We are announcing today the ability to import group policy ADMX files into Microsoft Endpoint Manager and use them. Here I'm creating a Windows 10 configuration policy. Now it has that familiar look and feel to group policy, and similar to group policy, this pulls the settings from the ADMX file. Now what you're looking at here is the ADMX file that we've automatically imported for you for Edge Release 85. You know, as the teams across Microsoft release updates, we auto-import that into MEM and they just appear in every tenant around the globe for immediate use. You can now also import any ADMX file. All right, now let's talk about Macs. We have a great partnership with Jamf that we continue to push forward, as well as we continue to push forward our first-party solution that's built into Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Let me show you some of the work that we've done first to integrate with Jamf and do a deeper integration into MEM. Here I'm attempting to access Office 365 from a Jamf managed device. We've worked closely with Jamf to make sure the process of taking a Jamf managed device and then registering it with Microsoft Endpoint Manager is as simple as possible. Notice there's only one prompt here for the user, and once the device is registered, they can then access email because Jamf is feeding Microsoft Endpoint Manager the device configuration data that we need in order to ensure that the conditional access policies are met. Now today we're also introducing full lifecycle management of applications on Macs in the solution that's just included with Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Now let me show you how this works. If a user unenrolls or removes their device from Microsoft Endpoint Manager, all the apps that were deployed by Microsoft Endpoint Manager are removed. Now this is using a new set of capabilities that we worked closely with Apple to build into macOS called Managed Apps. It'll be in the next release of macOS, and we will have day zero support for this new managed app capability. You can choose how you want to manage your Macs. You can do it through Microsoft Endpoint Manager with what we ship. You can use Jamf. It's all integrated, it's all seamless. It just gives you that choice. Now let's talk a little bit now about meeting rooms. In this new world of hybrid working, where sometimes we're at home and sometimes we're in the office, the importance of meeting rooms is paramount. So just a couple of months ago, we released a new managed service that we call Microsoft Teams Room Premium. This is a fully managed service from my team, actually, where we ensure that your Teams rooms are always up to date, they're secure, and you have a full inventory with the intent to ensure that they always just work for your users. It is really important that you manage and secure your meeting rooms, and it is the responsibility of you, the Microsoft Endpoint Manager, to take that responsibility on. All right, now let's transition to the third category of innovations and announcements, and it's the announcements on how we're bringing security and management even closer together. And let's start by talking about some of the new integrated work between Microsoft Endpoint Manager and Defender Endpoint. Now you're looking at here is the Endpoint Security Blade. This is a common blade. It can be accessed either coming in from Microsoft Endpoint Manager or the Defender experience. All the policies are stored in MEM, but it's a common platform. You can actually define and set who can make changes and who has read-only access. What is super unique about this in Microsoft 365 is that these settings are exposed in most management tools and in most security tools. Only Microsoft 365 can programmatically ensure and guarantee that you never have conflicting policies set by different teams. Now last year we released a Windows feature that's called Tamper protection. And what it does is it stops malicious actors from disabling Windows security features. I want to show you how this can now be applied to all of your Microsoft Endpoint managed devices. I'm going to go create a Windows policy here associated with a config manager group. Now, hopefully you caught that. In the past, you could only associate this with AAD groups. Now, you're seeing all of your config manager groups, and that value of being tenant attached and co-managed is super crystal clear. MEM goes ahead and creates this policy, then it delivers it down to the config manager deployment. Here you can see in the config manager console that policy's already been created, it's been assigned to my devices and users, and you've delivered that tamper protection policy to all of your devices. Now, what do you have to do to enable this? Enable tenant attach. I hope you're catching there's a theme here. Enable tenant attach and start receiving instant new value. Now let's talk about work that we're doing that integrates Microsoft Defender Endpoint on iOS and Android into Microsoft Endpoint Manager. Now it's important that your management and security are deeply connected. Now when I say connected, I literally mean the back end of the services must be connected so that we can take action immediately. Now let's show you how we have integrated Defender Endpoint with Microsoft Endpoint Manager for iOS and Android. Here I have an enrolled device, it's an Android device, and I want to show you here what happens. A user goes and installs an application, and in this case, clearly this application has some malicious code in it. Defender notifies Microsoft Endpoint Manager that the device risk has increased and conditional access starts to block access to any corporate resources from this device. Now the user can solve this on their own. They go into the Defender application and they're told exactly what they need to do. They remove this application. When the application is removed, Defender then notifies Microsoft Endpoint Manager that, hey, the coast is clear, the device is safe again. Conditional access restores access. I'm sure you've received a text that you know is a phishing scam. Here the user receives a text with a URL. Now when the user taps on this URL, We know that this is a malicious site from the 7 trillion different pieces of data that comes into us every day, and we block access. This is the depth of integration that you need between your security and your management solutions. Now, one more thing we want to talk about in this area of management security is work that we're doing for your frontline worker. A significant area of investment for us right now is enabling frontline workers through Microsoft Endpoint Manager. These are the people who are often working on shared devices and interacting with customers all day long. Here I am working on a shared Android device. When I sign into the device, it shows only the apps that IT has approved. This is running in kiosk mode. When I launch Teams, it comes right up. I'm authenticated in the background. Again, a great user experience. The user is able to start their shift and start working and interacting with their peers. One new feature in Teams is what we call walkie-talkie. And it's exactly what you think it is. But when you're using Teams, all the voice and all the text communication is encrypted so that no one can listen in. Now, when the shift is over, the user can sign out, and they are globally signed out of all their apps. The device is ready for the next user. This will be available in October, and it is that wonderful solution for enabling your frontline workers. Now let's turn and talk to some of the new value that's coming in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. As we look at the Admin Center traffic, 36% of the traffic comes from customers who manage multiple tenants, and 66% of enterprise customers have multiple tenants. We've heard you loud and clear that you need an easier way to switch between tenants and eliminate the repetitive tasks and actions across tenants. So here you can see a list of all the tenants in my organization, and I can switch between them quickly and securely without having to input all my credentials again. We're delivering you this Monday morning view where you can see the status of all your tenants and quickly understand the status of each and if there's anything that you need to do. Here's an aggregated view of the service health across all your tenants. You can drill into any issue and get a view of which of your tenants are being impacted. And this is just the start. With so many of you managing multiple tenants, we'll continue to invest and make this reality more simple for you. Now let's pivot to some of the work that we're doing in the ecosystem. A big, and I say big with a capital B, a big area of focus for us on my team right now is how we enable the management service providers, or MSPs, to deliver more value to their customers and increase their profitability. Today we are announcing something significant. Microsoft 365 Lighthouse, a specialized portal for MSPs to be able to monitor and manage all of their customers from one place. Here I'm on the home page where I can see the health and compliance status across all my customers. We've made onboarding really simple with a sign-up process that automatically populates all the customers you have delegated access to. The first areas that we've enabled are management and security views. Here you can see device compliance from Microsoft Endpoint Manager, as well as threat and issues that have been identified by Defender Endpoint. I can drill into the details. Here I can see the device compliance state for all of my customers. When I click on the device pivot, I get to see all the devices across all my customers. And I can actually drill into any one of the devices by just clicking right here, and it brings me into the Microsoft Endpoint Manager experience, and I can go deep. Microsoft 365 Lighthouse is exactly the tool that you as an MSP need. It gives you that integrated view across all your different customers. Now, last announcement for the day here. A common request from many of you has been to enable you to extend the attributes that can be used in calculating device compliance. Let me show you what we're doing here and how the ecosystem is building on this. Here in compliance policies is where I create the compliance policies that are required to access my organization's data. What I'm highlighting here is how Dell is extending device compliance to include Dell-specific configuration, such as BIOS version, boot method, to be used in the calculation of device compliance. Now, what you're seeing here is all dynamically read from a PowerShell script, so it's super easy for you to extend. The key here is that you can now extend our conditional access policies to be inclusive of just about whatever you want. Well, that's it. Talk about an action-packed 30 minutes. As we end here, I did want to leave you with a checklist of the things I would recommend that you do as you start to accelerate your path to modernization. And it's all about, taking your management, your security, and your identity control plane and moving more of that up into the cloud, establishing Edge as your preferred and recommended browser, and then ensuring that you're taking full control of those meeting rooms to ensure that great experience that's also secure. Thank you for joining us at Ignite 2020. I hope you have a wonderful conference with us.